Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Luton Town have officially been promoted to the Premier League. The memes have finally come true. Kenilworth Road will indeed be a Premier League stadium come August, and we've seen the memes in their fucking masses over the last few weeks and months, and like I said, it has officially come true, come to fruition. Kenilworth Road will be hosting Premier League games next season against the biggest teams in English football, and yep, they joined the big time for the first time in 31 years, their first ever Premier League season will be next season, and they've done so with a playoff final victory over Coventry City on penalties yesterday evening. And first of all, commiserations to Coventry City and Mark Robbins, who've worked their absolute arses off this season to even get into the playoffs, and to lose on penalties is obviously very cruel. And yep, like Luton themselves, they have had a really good story, a really good rebound story in recent years, considering the adversity that they have faced alongside Luton in recent years. And unfortunately, one team had to win and one team had to lose yesterday, and Coventry ended up the team to lose. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about the team that ended up winning and securing that place in the Premier League next season, Luton Town. And yeah, what an absolutely tremendous story. We've all seen Pelly Ruddock-Panzu, who becomes the first player to go from non-league to the Premier League with the same club. And yep, we've just seen how amazing a journey it is for Luton Town to go to the Premier League this season under Rob Edwards. And that's exactly what we're going to be going into more detail on in this video, is first of all how they've gotten promoted this season, and then looking into ahead for how Luton will be able to set up in the Premier League next season and what they will offer as a new Premier League side next season. So yep, I guess we'll just get straight into it. But first of all, subscribe to the channel. We are looking to hit 3,000 subscribers on this channel as soon as we possibly can. The season might be over, but ladies and gentlemen, the content will keep coming, and going to be doing a lot of videos on the transfer window for pretty much every single Premier League club, including Luton and Burnley and Sheffield United as well. So stay tuned on the channel for that one. Leave a like on the video if you do go on to enjoy, and turn on that notification bell as well, because you will never miss one of these absolutely scintillating videos, said no one ever. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video talking about Luton Town. So first and foremost, I think in terms of where the credit goes for Luton this season, I think first of all it has to go down to the boards. I mean, they've been an absolutely brilliantly run club and obviously are owned by Luton Town fans, which first and foremost is going to be a massive positive when you think of the outlook of Luton fans. Mick Harford, who's obviously, you know, a Luton legend and is now involved in the board at Luton and has been responsible, or partly responsible anyway, for the great recruitment that Luton have been responsible for in recent years. And you see their squad overall and you see how honest they are, and they just seem like a group of misfits almost that have come together and gone to work towards a common goal. And yep, they just work their absolute socks off for each other. They've got quality as well, and yep, I just really like the way Luton have gone about their business this season, and I think they definitely deserve their place in the Premier League, obviously, because that's how football works. It's a meritocracy. But yep, I just think in terms of Rob Edwards, for example, how good of a job he's done in terms of he took over this Luton team after getting sacked by Watford, which first of all he must be buzzing, because to get sacked by Watford, which in fairness not many managers haven't done at this stage in their career, but to then leave Watford and go to their biggest rivals in Luton, to then get Luton into the Premier League for the first time in their history after Watford finished mid-table, I mean, he's got to be absolutely laughing. Not that he even really gives a fuck about Watford, to be honest, but you know what I mean. And on the flip side, Nathan Jones, who must be absolutely kicking himself, raging, struggling to sleep if anything, because to leave and jump ship for Southampton, who in turn got relegated, and even before they had the chance to get relegated, he was shipped off. He could have been the man to bring this Luton team into the Premier League, and obviously it's no guarantee that he would have been able to do what Rob Edwards has done with this team and get them up this season. But yeah, back to Rob Edwards first of all, because obviously he came into this team in November, and took over a team that was obviously doing really well under Nathan Jones and in and around the playoff positions for the majority of the season anyway. And he took over, and I think the thing that was really intelligent from him is to not tinker too much and to not go away from the principles that made Luton so strong in the first place under Nathan Jones, which is that three at the back, direct style of play, very hard to play against, where they look to utilise long passes up to the front men in Elijah Adebayo and Carlton Morris, with players then circling around them to create overloads in certain areas of the pitch to obviously fluster opposition defences. And he's not really gone away with that. He's stuck with the principles that obviously, like I said, succeeded under Nathan Jones, and I just think as a man manager as well, he looks to have done an absolute brilliant job with this Luton team. They look to be running through brick walls for him. And yeah, I like Rob Edwards. I think he was very harshly sacked by Watford, but like I said, who isn't harshly sacked by Watford these days? Obviously did a really good job at Forest Green Rovers to get the Watford job in the first place. But yeah, I think he seems like a really intelligent football mind, Rob Edwards, and definitely seems like a down-to-earth bloke, and I just hope that Luton can give him the whole season next season, regardless of maybe how badly things might go next season for Luton Town, even though I don't think things will go too bad for them. And to be honest, I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility to think that Luton could easily survive in the Premier League next season, honestly, because I think people are forgetting that, yes, maybe the personnel isn't quite there in terms of Premier League quality overall, but Luton Town Town are going to be a very difficult team to play against next season, especially when you think of teams coming to Kenilworth Road. It's going to be a ground that not many of these players have ever gone to for a league match, especially in Premier League football. It's a ground that we've never really seen the likes of in the Premier League football. I know Bournemouth have a small ground as well, but it's nowhere near as tight and as, I don't know, industrial really than this Luton Town ground with Kenilworth Road, which obviously links rumours are that they're going to have to do it up a little bit, but I don't think it'll be too different. And to be honest, they remind me a lot of Blackpool 10-11. I remember Blackpool when I was really young. I must have been 9 or 10 when Blackpool were in the Premier League, and they came up and were a different side, first season ever in the Premier League, and playing a different brand of football that was difficult to play against. It was entertaining, and with that small ground as well at Bloomfield Road as well, they caused teams problems on multiple occasions, and I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility to think that Luton Town could be similar in terms of that. Maybe not in terms of the style of play, but in terms of the fact that they will be brave, they will be difficult to play against, and they will cause hassle for opposition teams, and that's for absolute certain. And in terms of how they play, it's a 3-5-2 system mainly that Rob Edwards has looked to set up with. But yep, like I said, it's a lot of long balls being utilised, a lot of similarities to that Nathan Jones style of play, a very direct, hitting the attacking unit with Elijah Adebayo and Carlton Morris, like I said, as quick as possible with those long passes, and flooding the areas around them to be able to win those second balls and be able to create chances in attack from that. And one thing Rob Edwards' Luton have been very good at this season as well is identifying and taking advantage of spaces and gaps left by opposition teams when they're going forward, and I think that's one thing that's mainly seen Luton score goals from this season, and yet they can score from a multitude of different areas. They've obviously been decent at set pieces this season as well, with their centre backs in Gabe Osho, Tom Lockyer and Amari Bell, who are all decent from set pieces, I think it's fair to say. And out of possession, they're a very, very energetic and hard-working team who are going to work their absolute fucking socks off in the Premier League next season, like they've done this season under Rob Edwards and Nathan Jones in previous times as well. And most importantly, they love to hassle opponents. They're going to be so difficult to play against next season, and like I said, one thing that I think is so important for teams going up, especially if you're a new team that's never been in the Premier League before or not been in the Premier League for a number of years, that first season in the Premier League buzz from the fans at home games, it's like a 12th man. It really, really is, and I think that can carry Luton through this season. I really, really do believe that. We saw that with Nottingham Forest this season, and we've seen that with a number of teams over the years, like I said, with Nottingham Forest and with, say, Huddersfield a few years ago. Definitely is a factor to take into account, is Luton Town's home form next season will be absolutely crucial if Luton are going to retain their place in the Premier League next season. And like I said, I wouldn't rule them out by any stretch of the imagination. It really depends obviously on who they recruit in the summer, because they will realistically need probably 5 or 6 signings minimum. But if you look at the squad they've got now, obviously Carlton Morris and Elijah Adebayo up front, more than likely they are going to need another striking option. In midfield you've got Marvelous Nakamba, who's obviously on loan, who I would not be surprised if Luton went gung-ho to try and sign permanently, because he's been absolutely ridiculous for Luton this season in that holding midfield role. He screened the defence absolutely brilliantly, 5.06 tackles and interceptions per 90 he's averaging, which is absolutely extraordinary and just shows how good he's been in terms of screening that defence, like I said, for Luton this season, and has been one of the main reasons why they've been so solid defensively, to be fair to him. And alongside him, obviously, Pelly Panzu and Jordan Clark, who are both well capable of getting on the ball, but also offer a lot of industry, a lot of bite, tenacity, and energy out of possession as well as in possession as well. The wing-backs, I think, are the most crucial part in this Luton team, and the most exciting part from my perspective, because Cody Drama, who's obviously on loan from Leeds, I mean, Luton should be doing absolutely everything in their power to keep this guy next season. He's been absolutely insane for Luton this season, both going forward and defensively, and yeah, has been one of the most complete fullbacks in the Championship by some far and away, to be honest. I mean, 3.62 shot creating actions per 90 for a right wing back is absolutely ridiculous, and like I said, I mean, defensively he's been nothing short of sensational as well, so he's one that I really think Luton should be trying to get in next season, especially capitalising on the fact that Leeds have obviously been relegated. You think of Alfie Doughty then that left hand side as well. I've just got a few stats for him just to sum him up, because he's, in my opinion, been Luton's best player this season. 4.06 shot creating actions per 90, 2.24 key passes per 90. He's won 64.8% of his aerial duels, which for a fullback puts him very high in comparison. And he's also a great crosser as well, and yet, like Cody Drama, offers a lot of stability defensively as well as a lot of creativity going forward as well in this Luton team. So I think the fullbacks, the wing-backs, are going to be very important for Luton next season if they can retain Cody Drama. And then the centre-backs as well. You've got Gabe Osho on the right, Amari Bell on the left-hand side. Both can play as fullbacks as well, so will be versatile, and both are capable in possession at carrying the ball forward. And you've got Tom Lockyer as well, who's obviously been really solid defensively, and at the same time as well is obviously capable of, pinging the ball forward, which is going to be highly useful in this Luton team, given the fact that they do like to play those long passes up to the likes of Adebayo and Morris. And Ethan Horvath in goal as well, who has been quite a solid keeper this season as well. Interesting to see if they do try and steal him from Nottingham Forest next season, or if they go for a more Premier League quality goalkeeper, so to speak. But yep, I'll be interested to see what Luton Town do in the transfer window. And yep, like I said, I will be doing that video soon enough where I go through Luton Town's transfer window and how I think they should strengthen this summer to keep themselves in the Premier League next season. And I just think that Luton Town will be an absolutely brilliant addition to the Premier League, especially with the fact that we've got Burnley, we've got Sheffield United, two teams that have been in the Premier League more recently, and with Luton being their first ever season in the Premier League, and being such a small ground with Kenilworth Road, being a team that are completely different to really any team that are currently in the Premier League with their style of play. I just think it's refreshing to see for Luton Town, and yep, I'm all for it, to be honest, and I wish them the best of luck, and I do hope they do stay up next season, because as I said, the story for Luton in recent years has been nothing short of absolutely insane. So yeah, I'm sure their fans are absolutely buzzing, waiting for those fixtures now at the end of June to come out, and yeah. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say now on Luton Town. Luton fans, let me know how you're feeling on this video down in the comment section below. Have I hit the nail on the head, or am I talking absolute waffle? Let me know in the comment section below, and yep, I'll see you guys in my next video. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll chat to you later.